Hey, how's it going? It's Chris Hernandez from Houston Combat Photography, and I wanted to make a very quick video about the World War II reenactment that I participated in back in September at the National Museum of the Pacific War in Fredericksburg, Texas. This was pretty intense reenactment, and is the most complex one that I've participated in so far. It's only been three, but it was pretty cool, and just wanted to tell you some of my experiences with it. So. What happens at this one, there's two iterations. You've got two groups of soldiers who come out onto this very complex battlefield that has all kinds of really cool effects, pyrotechnics, simulated explosions, gunfire. And you have one group that's soldiers in a landing craft that come out, an actual landing craft that's housed in a building. The door to the building opens up. This landing craft comes out on a channel, like a concrete channel, comes up to a certain spot. The ramp comes down. Everybody goes running off. We did two iterations of the reenactment that day. I was in the landing craft for the first one. For the second one, I started off with the Marines, who were coming out of a Marine Corps Amtrak that's on the other side of the field. So here's an Alamy picture, not my picture, an Alamy picture showing most of what the battlefield looks like. You can see that building on the left is where the landing craft comes from. The Amtrak's just out of view off to your right. I was doing my usual thing of, dressed as a civilian war correspondent, using this helmet with this heat transfer that I ordered online, which didn't exactly work out perfectly, but, it was all right. So being a civilian war correspondent, and I was carrying my Speed Graphic. This is actually a 1953 Speed Graphic. This is post-World War II, but it's close enough for what I'm doing, for right now anyway. And I had this hanging around my neck as a backup. My Rolleiflex 3.5. This one's from 1945, the last year of the war made in Germany. So I'll tell you now, this part up here on the Rolleiflex is kind of fragile. So I had it closed. I didn't have the waist level viewfinder open. On both cameras, I had set the hyperfocal distance. Like on this, it was f/16 focus locked at 30 feet, so that everything from 15 feet to infinity would be in focus. I did basically the equivalent of that on here. And later on, that came into play when I had a failure. I failed, didn't have this camera ready, switched to the backup, and I didn't have the viewfinder open, and I screwed up a picture. Anyway, so the first reenactment was pretty interesting, starting off in that landing craft, because as I'm at the back of the landing craft and we're moving out to the battlefield, the battle's already going, and we're like literally, I'm standing behind all these soldiers. One of them's got an M1919 machine gun, and these guys are completely geared up, and as we're rolling forward, we're rolling into this raging firefight, and it was pretty cool. It did bring back some pretty good memories. And then the ramp goes down, and we go, running down the ramp, and one guy gets killed on the ramp, or just as he clears the ramp. And, and then it's running around the battlefield trying to keep up with everybody as they're advancing, taking different positions. And the culmination of this reenactment is a flamethrower attack on a Japanese bunker. This is at the top of the hill. But so here are some pictures of the the different things I got during that first iteration, different shots I got. I was struggling a bit and made some mistakes because you're running around pretending like you're getting shot at, and having to take cover, having to stay low. And with the Speed Graphic, the way it works is I'm shooting hyperfocal distance, so I'm just looking through up here. I'm just doing this to take pictures. I'm not using the rangefinder. Obviously, I'm not using the ground glass or anything like that at the back. I've got this film holder that's got two film sheets in it. That's here in the back. And every time I'm going to take a picture, I need to cock the shutter, pull the dark slide, take the picture, make sure the dark side is flipped around to the correct, so that the correct color on the dark slide is showing. Take this out, flip it around, and then do the same thing. Pull the dark slide, recock the shutter, compose, take the picture, blah, blah. And every time I'm taking a picture, I'm doing this. Once I take my, and things get screwed up. Once I take my second shot and I pull this out, then I got to throw it into a bag and pull another one out, reload it, go through the same process. So it's fairly complicated, especially when you're under stress. It's easy to screw it up, and I did screw up a couple of times. I missed a couple of shots. Here's some of the good ones. You know, a guy charging forward to attack a bunker. Later on, I screwed up a shot. I accidentally shot over something trying to get him, you know, shooting into a bunker with that Thompson submachine gun. I wound up missing the shot of the flamethrower operator hitting the Japanese bunker because I was in perfect position. He was in perfect position. I'm there looking at him, waiting for him to start firing the flamethrower. The guy in charge yells, "Burn it." Flamethrower operator pulls the trigger. I take the picture, and then we both realize he had forgotten to ignite it, and all he was spraying was a sheet or a stream of diesel. I'm hurrying up, trying to get, you know, trying to flip the film holder over, and doing that, I accidentally exposed the picture I had just taken. I didn't put the dark slide back in properly. I screwed up that picture, and by the time I had the camera ready to go, it was too late. It was over. So then we go to the next iteration that afternoon. I was with the Marines this time. I actually wound up getting some less dramatic stuff because when you're coming in from that other side, there's fewer places to go. So I wound up kind of sitting still a lot and just taking pictures of the guys charging. But I got some pretty cool pictures like these. This time, when I got up, I was, again, wanting to get the flamethrower. And I wound up, I don't know what I did. I screwed something up and I realized he's about to fire the flamethrower, and I realized, crap, I don't have my camera ready. So I switched to my backup camera, which, of course, because I didn't want to damage the camera, I still had the Ever-Ready case closed. So I opened it up real quick. I have it cocked, so it's ready to go. I didn't have the viewfinder up. You're supposed to have, you know, sports find. I should have been using sports finder mode, which is, you know, setting this up a certain way. Didn't have any of that ready, so I just pointed this in the general direction of the flamethrower, and I took a picture. And because I was moving around, because I screwed up, I was in a rush, I blurred the picture. Then I just took a few more shots with it. Got some, I don't know, I guess they could be kind of dramatic looking shots. And I got some other fairly decent shots just, you know, with my speed graphic of the reenactment. Actually, I got some really cool shots that I really liked. But here's some of the shots. And my goal for any of these is that I really want someone to at least have to look twice before they realize it's not an actual original photo. And I think some of these, I accomplished that. It is a complex battlefield, like I said. I mean, there are actual World War II tanks out there, World War II anti-aircraft guns. There's a, you know, pretty decent looking bunker up there at the top of the hill. The pictures I got of the attack on the bunker are, you know, around the time of the attack on the bunker were pretty cool, I thought. The flag raising that they do at the end, I thought those were pretty neat also. And, you know, overall I'm pretty happy, although next time I've learned there's some things I have to do to get some better pictures. But I wanted to tell you about something else that happened there. Is after one of those reenactments, somebody wants to talk to me. It's an 11-year-old kid named Jordan Wilson from Falfurrias, Texas. Jordan was taking pictures from the stands with his, I think it was a Canon XTI. It's a, you know, older, not very high-tech camera. Jordan's 11 years old, and he's been taking pictures with that camera for 8 years. And he showed me some of the pictures he captured from the stands, and I thought, holy cow, I mean, the composition on this is beautiful. He got all the settings right. I asked him to send the pictures to me. I added a preset in Lightroom to him, just to make him a little more, you know, increase the clarity, make him a little more stark, more impactful. But everything else was his. The composition, all the technical aspects of these photos are his. And I thought he took some incredible pictures. Jordan is going to be, I think, I mean, he's already a great photographer. He's going to be like a fantastic, awesome photographer in adulthood. He's already won some contests now. But I wanted to share this. I was just super impressed with this kid, and I hope he keeps this up. He said he wants to go out and eventually, when he's an adult, become one of the reenactors. I mean, I hope he actually joins the military and becomes a combat photographer, and then has a great civilian career as a photographer. But anyway, I just wanted to share this experience with you. I had a lot of fun doing it. I got very little sleep that day because I was driving from Houston to Fredericksburg and back. But you know, it was a great time. It's a lot of very dedicated reenactors. It's a really great place to do reenactments. It's got all kinds of really cool, you know, technical support and pyro and all that stuff. And if you ever have a chance to go and see one of the reenactments at the National Museum of the Pacific War, Fredericksburg, Texas, I highly suggest you do it. And who knows, maybe I'll see you there. So until next time, again, I'm Chris Hernandez from Houston Combat Photography. Y'all take it easy.